Hey guys, Swamp Cleaner Harry here, back with another video for you. This time, guess what we're going to be talking about again? Russia, Russia, Russia. That's right. Russia's on our mind. It has to be the umpteenth time now that Russia is in the news. And you know why this time? It's because Donald Trump Jr., during the campaign, met with a Russian lawyer who said she had damaging information on Hillary Clinton and her campaign. Well, let's break this down, right? Okay, so he met with this lawyer, and now let's remember the pretense here. He's still at this point a private citizen. This is in June of 2016. This is even before the Russia fever started to hit. So he's been getting messages and emails left, right, and center saying, "Hey, I want to meet. Can we meet? Like, I've got information, they have information, everybody's got information." Okay, this is nothing unusual during the midst of a heated campaign to try to dig around and get dirt on your opponent. It's simple facts. If you can figure out how to get an advantage on your opponent, you take it. But the Democrats don't seem to think so. The Democrats, you have the likes of Tim Kaine coming out saying that this could be almost attributed to treason. Can you believe that? Treason. This explosive rhetoric, this explosive narrative that the Democrats and the mainstream media are trying to push is just laughable at this point. I mean, you have him meeting a lawyer, Donald Trump Jr. meeting a lawyer as a private citizen, so he's not held to any standards. He's not held to any oath to protect the nation or to protect information or anything like that. He's in the middle of the campaign helping his father try to win the presidency. So if I can find some dirt on Hillary Clinton, why not take it? But it turns out that that meeting was a big nothing. The lady he was talking to really didn't have anything to talk about Hillary, but she wanted to talk about Russian adoption issues with the Mitskinsky Act. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but I didn't really look that up because it's not really relevant at this point. But the Democrats and the mainstream media take that inch and blow it up into a mile, and it's so funny. They think that because he didn't disclose his meeting, that means he was hiding something or there was some collusion going on. No, he didn't disclose the meeting. It's because there was nothing there. There was nothing there to talk about. It's kind of like if your wife gets angry at you because you didn't tell her that you went to the shopping mall today and bought some groceries, or you went to the store and bought some groceries. She got angry because you didn't specifically tell her in detail what you bought. "Oh, well, I went to the mall, or I went to the store." "Well, what'd you do?" "Okay, well, if you want more information, okay, I bought some apples, there's some ribs on sale, yada, yada, yada." This is the same thing as what happened with Michael Flynn, when everybody was shouting, "Oh, Russia, 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 sanctions, sanctions." They were talking about sanctions before the administration was even set up. No, they were never talking about sanctions. The Russian contacts he was in touch with asked him about whether or not they could talk about sanctions in the future or even then, but he was like, "No, sorry, we can't do that. We're still setting up the administration. You'll have to get back with us, and we can discuss that at a later date." But since they mentioned the word sanctions, oh, they talked about sanctions. No, that's not accurate, and this is almost the same as that. What's happening with Donald Trump Jr. here. So another thing is, besides the meeting, who is this Russian lawyer woman anyway? It's actually coming out now that her social media is laced with a lot of anti-Trump rhetoric. She's been seen at a lot of anti-Trump marches, especially in Chicago. Her social media is plastered with it. She likes to push the Russia-Trump collusion narrative. Weird, because why would she push that Russia-Trump collusion narrative if at first she wanted to get in touch with Donald Trump Jr. and give him information on Hillary Clinton? Doesn't really make any sense. It's kind of fishy. And what's fishier still is that a few days after her meeting with Donald Trump Jr., she was spotted in Washington, D.C., at actual Hill congressional meetings. You can see her sitting behind people who were testifying at the time. And wouldn't you know it, just a few days after she's in Washington, D.C., the Obama administration petitions the FISA courts to start spying on Trump Tower. Yes, I know that's just speculation, but it's kind of juicy. Now, let's move on to that. This is a blatant double standard yet again. Donald Trump Jr., as a private citizen, meets with a Russian citizen. Oh my God! Collusion with Russia, we got you now, you colluders. We got that smoking gun. You want to talk about collusion? You want to talk about a smoking gun? More like an atom bomb? What about Hillary Clinton's uranium deal with Russia, in where she sells 20% of America's uranium to the Russians and gets $2 million kickback into the Hillary Clinton Foundation and to offset her campaign, being sent through Canadian banks and then into the Clinton Foundation? That's bigger than that. What about the DNC colluding with the Clinton campaign to screw Bernie Sanders out of the primaries? Or how about the DNC giving her debate questions beforehand? Hello? Duh! That's more collusion there than a 20-minute conversation, a 20-minute meeting between two private citizens that ended up being about nothing. Now, what I'm reading here, because I got my notes in a list here, is that there is more smoke coming out of the DNC, coming out of the Democrats, than you could ever get coming out of the Trump campaign or Trump himself. You have Donald Trump Jr., once all this fervor started, released his emails, completely made them public so everybody can see them. What does Hillary Clinton do when she comes under scrutiny? She deletes 33,000 emails, she scrubs servers, she, out of convenience, and because she doesn't know whether or not anything's classified. This is crazy. And don't get me started on the other donors, especially direct government donations to the Clinton Foundation that would offset the Hillary Clinton campaign, especially from the likes of Oman, Saudi Arabia, who, of course, gave the Clinton Foundation since the 1990s around $25 million. Holy crap. I mean, come on, guys. This, just like Stefan Molyneux said, this is almost like an idiot test. It's not hard to see the connections here. It's really not that hard at all. And this is going nowhere. This is going to keep going nowhere. This is going to die out yet again because there's nothing concrete. Maybe this was all a setup to begin with. Maybe this was a complete setup in order to trap the Trump campaign into a collusion web of lies. But since Donald Trump Jr. didn't take the bait, they had nothing. So they had to pull it out of their ass once they lost the election. And look where it's gotten them. It's gotten them nowhere. It's gotten them 7 months out of the election, 7 months from the election, and the Democrats are still talking about Russia. They aren't creating any talking points for the 2018 midterms. They're not trying to gather up a base or have a message. They're just saying, Russia, Russia, Russia. Trump is a mean person. He's colluding with Russia. He's going to kill Americans. Blah, 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 blah. It's annoying at this point, and it's quite pathetic. And, of course, they're going to keep running this as far as they can until maybe somebody can make up some fake evidence or catch them in another setup trap. I don't know. But moving on from that, because this is a big nothing burger, we're going to move on to another important story that's happening. And it almost ties into how Hillary Clinton doesn't know how to read her own classified information. Well, apparently, James Comey doesn't know how to figure out what's classified or not either. Because 4 out of his 7 memos that he considered personal and took with him after leaving the FBI after being fired by Donald Trump, have found out, 4 of them have found out to have classified, top secret, or confidential information in them. So James Comey broke a couple federal laws. He, one, mishandled documents, just like Hillary Clinton did, and he took them into his own personal property when they are actually property of the U.S. government. And the FBI has come out and said, no, all those memos are not personal. Those are government documents because you wrote them as the director of the FBI, specifically detailing your conversations with President Trump. Okay? That is a no-no. You cannot be taking government documents and absconding with them to your home and then leaking them to the press just so you can get a special prosecutor appointed to go and search about Russian Trump collusion. And that special prosecutor just happens to be one of his best friends. This is insane. Doesn't anybody know what a conflict of interest is? Anybody? No? I mean, you cannot have the mentor and the close personal friend of a former FBI director to go investigate the person who got him fired. It's a clear conflict of interest. This is turning into a massive, massive witch hunt. And yes, of course, that's why Donald Trump Jr. and the rest of the Trumps would lawyer up, because this is a witch hunt. They're trying to get burned at the stake for nothing. They have done nothing. If you want to look at who the colluders are, just look into the DNC. Look at what they did to screw Bernie Sanders over, how they covered for Hillary Clinton for her email fiasco, how they covered for John Podesta and his emails that were hacked because his password is simply password. Dude, you need to get a better password than that. I mean, mine's really complicated, and I just have simple social media. Now, this is going to turn into nothing more than a shouting match, of course, because you have people on the Hill screaming treason and collusion when there's more smoke than ever before and there's no fire. All the smoke has been manufactured and it's just puffing out of their ass. This is going to go nowhere. They're forgetting about what they have to look ahead for, which is the 2018 midterm elections. They haven't done anything. The Democrats have not pushed any talking points besides Trump being a colluder with Russia and that he's a horrible person, he's a racist, bigot, and he's going to kill 23,000 or 29,000 Americans a year with his new health care bill, just like Bernie Sanders came out and said that 29,000 people a year could die from this, and that's 9 times worse than 9/11. So they are lumping in this healthcare bill with the acts of Islamic extremists who attacked this country and killed 3,000 plus people. Just sick. How low can these people stoop? It gets on your nerves because you think they have to give this a rest. But are they going to? No. These people are jaded. These people have a chip on their shoulder and they don't know when to stop. It's going to end with all of them getting removed from office. Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters, they need to go and get to a home, a special healthcare home, like, I don't know, be visited by visiting angels or something. America's Choice in Home Care, because those two are senile. John McCain isn't any better. And oh yeah, isn't he the one who gave us that Pissgate dossier? Isn't he the one who handed that off to the FBI in person? And also, he's a friend or an acquaintance of the female Russian lawyer that met with Donald Trump Jr. Maybe we need to go and look into McCain and see whether or not that a lot of where this collusion conspiracy and where a lot of this smoke is coming from is actually coming from him. Well, that was a lot to digest, but it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. I mean, these Democrats and these liberals, they just don't know when to stop. They lost the election, and they're doing the exact same thing that they said that we would do if we lost the election, is that bitch and complain, moan and cry, and make up excuses. Well, that just goes to show that it is true that whatever Democrats or whatever liberals have on their minds, and whatever shortcomings they have, they just reflect upon everybody else because they don't want to solve their own issues, and they just want to blame other people. Alright guys, well, that one was a little bit shorter, but hope you guys have a good day. Let's keep magging, and let's make sure that we get people in 2018 to remove these crazy Democrats and to remove the rhinos who are also roadblocking everything President Trump is trying to do. Alright guys, well you have a good day. I'll see you later.